Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thanks a lot for joining us today. My name is Aziz, and I'm excited to open the second session of our new project, the Educational Bridge. It's a project that connects students from Central Asia with leading universities around the world, helping you get real and reliable information directly from admission teams and university representatives. And today we are joined by a wonderful guest, Kate Irwin, Senior Associate Director of Admissions at Michigan State University. It is a university with strong academic reputation and a long history of educating international students from all over the world. Hello, Kate.
Hello. Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you all for joining today. Excited to.
Yeah. Sorry, just a moment. So just like last time, we invited a co-host from our audience, Jaina Gul, who will joining the conversation, ask her own questions directly to Kate. Hello, Jaina Gul. And of course, everyone else can participate as well. If you have any questions at any point, just send them in the comments. We'll keep an eye on them, and we'll try to include as many of them as possible during the Q&A part. So, all right, I think we can start now. Kate, I give you the word. Thank you so much again for being here.
Yes, thank you thank you all for connecting as well. I'm going to start with a short presentation about different graduate business programs that we do offer at Michigan State University. I specifically do work within the business college at Michigan State University. So that is, I'm going to give you a little bit of information on what that looks like and different options for international students that we do have. And then, of course, if you have any other questions, we can touch on those after the presentation. So let me just get started here. Okay, perfect. So again, just for context, I work for Michigan State University, which is a very large university. Actually, I'll start here. We have over about 53,000 students right now on campus. But for reference, the College of Business at the university is called the Broad College of Business. So you will hear me refer to Broad College quite a bit in this presentation. So Michigan State University, again, is one of the largest universities in the U.S., especially land-wise. So we have, the university was founded in 1855, so we have generations and generations of alumni. Currently, we have over 600,000 alumni worldwide. So doing a degree at Michigan State University is a great way to join a really strong network. Within our College of Business MBA programs, which is specifically the main one I'm going to highlight, so our Masters of Business Administration. We have about 120 students in our program right at this moment. And at the College of Business, we have over 85,000 alumni. So our full-time MBA program, again, this is a Masters of Business Administration. This is a degree that is really going to take your career to a next level in any industry that you're interested in, really. MBA degrees are very versatile. In the US, especially, a lot of people who are in management and leadership positions within the business world have this degree. So what you're going to get out of it is going to be, again, leadership skills, management skills, but also a whole well-rounded view of business. You will touch on every area of business in this degree. At Michigan State University, at our College of Business, this degree is ranked in the top 10 in the U.S. for public programs. So we do draw, as you said, we have students from all over the world that come to do their studies here at Michigan State University. So a little bit about our current MBA class. So with our class itself, again, this is a 2-year program. So per class, we have about, it depends, 60 to 70 students, depending on the year. So a smaller class size compared to some other U.S. Masters of Business Administration programs. That being said, we highly value work experience within the application process. So having work experience is going to help you be able to really internalize and understand the concepts that you're learning in the classroom and also be able to contribute to class projects. On average, students have about 3.5 years of work experience post-bachelor's degree. You may have heard of the GMAT or GRE exams. Many graduate programs in the United States may require one of these exams for entry. We do not require it. However, if you do take one of the exams and get a good score, it can very much help you stand out on your application. So something to consider when, again, if you decide to apply to this program or really any other programs in the US, you might hear about the GMAT or the GRE exam. It's a standardized test that is basically looking at different skill sets that you have, both quantitative and verbal. So you may be tested on this for entry into a graduate program in the US. In this program, we have about a third of our students, by the way, are international students from all over the world. So again, I mentioned that within this program, you will be touching on every area of business. So within your first year of the program, you will do all the same courses as your fellow students. So you will be doing some marketing, you will do supply chain management, you will do accounting, management, strategy, leadership, finance as well. So, you'll touch on all these different areas of business in the first year. The second year is when you're able to go into different concentration areas. So if you're really interested, for example, in supply chain management, you might want to do a supply chain concentration within your degree. If you're really interested in marketing, you could do marketing. So you can choose one or two of these concentrations during your time in the program. And then also I will say that this is probably important. I know that this is an international group here on the call, and I know you've been doing an education series, so not sure if this has been touched on. But I think it's really important to know because it's a tip that can really help you when studying in the US. So if your goal after a graduate degree, master's degree in the US is to stay and try and work for a period of time and possibly even get long-term residency, it's going to help you to do a STEM designated degree. Now, some of them, so STEM, if you don't know, is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And you might wonder, well, how can an MBA, Master's in Business Administration, be considered a STEM degree? We do have the option to do a STEM designated track. It just means that most of your classes are going to be more quantitative focused. So if you want to do a STEM designated degree, you will choose between our finance, our marketing, and our supply chain management concentrations in the MBA program. Now, why would you want to do this? Why does a STEM degree matter? Because in the US, if you take a non-STEM degree and you're an international student, you basically have 1 year after graduation to work in the US as part of your optional practical training time. And then you have one chance, an employer has to file on your behalf, one chance at the H-1B visa lottery. If you do not get it that time, basically your chances are over. If you have done a STEM designated degree, after that year, if you do not get the lottery for the H-1B visa, you have another year and another chance at that lottery. If that time doesn't work out, you have another year and another chance. So having that STEM designated degree in the US, as the law stands now, I will say things are changing very quickly politically in this country. But as it stands now, the STEM designated degree will get you more time in the US and more time to work, and also more chances at the H-1B visa, which can then be a key to your long-term residency here in the US, getting a green card in the future, etc. So a lot of international students do want this STEM designated option within our MBA program. If you're a STEM student, you still are doing the same, you're still with the other students, you're still in the same program, it's just you are more limited to your choices in the concentrations, and your curriculum is more quantitative. Okay, so just a tip, if you did not know that, it's very, very helpful when coming to study in the US to know that. So our MBA program is really looking to get you hands-on experience. We give you workshops so that you're putting the skills you're learning into the classroom into practice. Those are done through our Extreme Green workshops. We go on treks to different local companies, or not local. We go to large companies like Amazon, Meijer, which is our biggest supermarket chain here in the Midwest and US. We've gone to the Google headquarters, many different treks we do to companies to get an inside look. We have a team leadership lab here within the College of Business. We encourage people to do an internship with a company between their first and second year in the program, so in the summertime. And we do offer a global immersion, which is kind of like a study abroad global business trip for a week, and the country changes each year. In past years, they've gone to Portugal, Spain, Italy, Ireland too. So that's an opportunity to get some hands-on experience and learning. We also offer many different student resource groups to our students. So if you're interested in getting involved outside of the classroom, you can be a part of a supply chain management association. We could be part of the finance association. Multicultural MBA is a lot of our international students sharing their culture. Our MBA association is more of a social resource group, so they put together lots of events for our students. So lots of ways to get involved outside of the classroom too. At Broad College of Business, we have a career management team. So as an MBA student, you will be placed with a career coach through this career management center. They also have corporate partners, so they bring companies on campus to help recruit our students. They put you in touch with our alumni network. They'll help you with your interview skills, your resume, all kinds of support throughout, looking for your internship and full-time job as well. So you will have support in doing that if you come to study at the Broad College of Business. These are our career stats for the class of 2025. So average starting salary is about 110,000. These were our top hiring companies for this year, meaning they took the largest amount of our students. There were many more companies represented. Within our program, you'll typically see a lot of students going into tech. The automotive industry here in Michigan is Detroit. I don't know if you know Detroit, but that is the center of the automotive industry in the United States. And, a lot of people go into supply chain roles because we are a top supply chain management school. Consulting is big as well. And then pharmaceutical and biotech has been growing a lot. So like Bayer took a lot of our students this year as well. So this is always very important to everyone, is how much does it cost? How do I pay for this? So we offer scholarships, fellowships, and graduate assistantships to our students. We are looking at, everything is merit-based, so we are looking at the strength of your application to determine how much money you would receive. So again, we're looking at your work experience. We're looking at your academic piece. So that would be your transcripts from your undergraduate university. We would also, if you took, remember, I mentioned that GMAT or GRE exam in the beginning, if you took that and you want to show academic strength through that and you have a good score, that would be something we look at as well. Of course, your interview and how that goes, and then just your general fit with the program and your reasons for wanting to do an MBA. What are your goals? Do those goals match what we can even offer you? So those are the things we'll look at on an application. So we actually offer also something special that we do is we offer our international students an in-state tuition rate, which is the lower one here. This is $35,000 per year, more or less. And then any scholarships that you're given are taken out of that amount. So we are looking to fund people, give people pretty strong offers this year. We want to bring in a small but very strong class. So we're looking at giving scholarships probably worth about 75% coverage up to a full tuition coverage, which is really a great opportunity. So, that leaves you with mostly paying a small amount for the tuition, and then what you pay for are your living costs. I will say, as an international student, you have the option to work anywhere in the university, anywhere on campus. So you can get graduate assistantships, teaching assistantships. We have people that work in the dining halls and the residence halls. They work in offices within the university. There's so many different opportunities that arise while you're here on campus. So, lots of ways for you to support yourself as a student. These are the application deadlines for our full-time MBA. So if you're interested in applying for fall of 2026, we have one intake per year. It's always in the fall. Round 2 is going to be on December 1st. I know that's coming up soon. But then our round 3 deadline is February 16th. This is our final deadline for international applicants. Again, this is for fall 2026. This is our team. We're small, but we do a lot. So this is our MBA admissions team. We do admissions for the full-time MBA, which is the one that I'm talking about. Our online MBA, which I'm going to talk about a little bit because it could be relevant to you as well. And then we have an executive MBA, but that one isn't really relevant for international students. So So there's my contact information here in the middle. If you do want to reach out. I don't know why my thing isn't working. There we go. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of our other degrees here at the College of Business. The MBA ones are my programs that I do the admissions for. The other ones, I've included contact information for the other directors. If you are interested in them, you can get more information that way. So we have now, as of this year, this is brand new, we are offering an online version of our MBA. So similar to what I was telling you before. However, this one is a bit more individualized, so you're doing it at your own pace. Classes are recorded. That way you can do it from anywhere in the world and you can do it while you're working, if you have a family. You know, it's very much you completing the classes when it's best for you. You can complete this MBA program within 19 months, or you can stretch it out to 28 months if you want to do it at a slower pace. So again, we are really always looking to give you business skills that are applicable in the real world. You know, if you're working while doing this online MBA, we would love for you to take a class. Tomorrow, when you go to work, apply what you learned to your work currently. It's 30 courses and 42 credits, great ROI. So basically what we want to do with, you know, what we want to give you through this degree is building expertise in strategic management and analytics, leadership development, accounting, finance, supply chain, marketing, global business, and generally just preparing you to lead in the business world. Okay. So this one is much more flexible. Students that do our professional, this is a professional MBA because it's created for working professionals. Others who have done our professional MBAs have seen 23% salary increase while they're in the program. 42% received a promotion during the program, and about 60% average salary increase 3 years post-graduation. So again, this degree is really going to take you to the next level in the business world, in the leadership world. An MBA degree is very versatile. It can be used in any industry. It could be used in corporate. It could be used in the government. It could be used in nonprofit sectors, because in any case, you're getting management and leadership skills. So leading teams in any way, leading projects, this type of degree is going to help you. Now I'm going to touch a little bit on some of the other degrees that we do offer at College of Business that are relevant to international students. We have a master's in business data science and analytics. This is a very heavy international heavy cohort. So we do have a lot of international students in this cohort. It's a smaller cohort, about 45 students. This is on campus for 1 year. So you would come to the US, study for 1 year at our College of Business. Is 30 credits. The placement rate is quite high for students as far as, you know, jobs that they're getting. This data is from last year. I will say I do not know what the data is for 2025, but 90% placement rate with a median starting salary of about 95,000. Some of our employers for this degree, you know, that people are going, you know, where people are going, companies would be tech, energy is, I know you probably don't know these companies, but DTE and Consumers Energy, those are the companies that provide us with all of our electricity and gas here in Michigan. So that's energy there. Again, automotive, healthcare is represented, tech, consumer goods, and consulting as well. So lots of different outcomes if you would like to focus on a degree that's much more, it's not as broad as an MBA. So in the MBA, you're learning all areas of business. With these degrees, the MS degrees, you are learning a specific skill set and focusing on a specific topic. So this is going to be, again, data science and analytics. You could also, sorry, my clicker is not working here. You could also do a degree in accounting, a master's in accounting. So again, this is a on-campus program, 30 credits, and you can do this one in 1 year or 1.5 years. This is a larger cohort, about 100 students per cohort. And they will be looking at, again, your undergraduate degree. This one does not require work experience either. And let's see, top employers, again, there's a lot of consulting I see here. So A lot of these accounting students are going into the consulting world post-graduation. We now also have, oh, okay, our master's in marketing research. This is a great choice if you're interested in the marketing world, or again, this is more focused on the marketing research part. So a lot of, data, statistics, things like that. But this is the top ranked marketing research program in the United States. So this one is very popular as well. There's different formats. So they have a fully online option that's 20 months long. So that's like a part-time one. You could do that from where you are right now. If you wanted to come into the US and do the program, it's a 12-month program. And so let's see. Yeah, so for international students, you would be in person for 1 year. So again, this one is much more focused on the research part of marketing. And so a lot of different outcomes here as well. It looks really varied here as far as industries go. But yeah, this is again our number one ranked program in the US in marketing research. Then we have our master's in finance. I believe this is the last option we have for international students. This is on campus, 30 credits as well, and 12 to 18 months. I think you're able to choose what you prefer. This is a smaller cohort as well, but this one does require a bit more years of work experience. So typically we're not seeing students straight out from undergrad. We're seeing, it looks like an average of 9 years of work experience. So, yeah, if you want to focus in on finance, your finance skills specifically, and no other areas of business, this is a good option for you as well. And that covers it for the College of Business graduate programs for me. So, any questions from anyone? I'm here to answer them.
Thank you very much, Kate, for that insightful presentation. That's very interesting to hear. We have a few questions here in the chat, but before that, I would like to give a word to Jainabul, who ask you her own questions. Jainabul, please.
Thank you for your speech. So you said before more about business, and like in our generation, many people believe that business should be learned from personal experience rather than studying it in university. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, I do. I know that the young generation nowadays is very interested. A lot of people are interested in entrepreneurship. A lot of people are interested in kind of becoming, I know content creation is big online. That is, that's the reality of it. I'd say that it really depends on what your goals are. If you want to be an entrepreneur and a self-starter and, you're interested in, working maybe in an online business, your own business, then I think you're totally able to use your own personal experience and build from the ground up if that's what you prefer. But I will say in the corporate world, if you are looking to grow within these large companies, you're looking for, a path to the the C-suite within these companies. An MBA degree or a professional degree is what's going to get you there. I think that in very rare cases, you coming with a resume or CV and saying, well, look, I learned this by myself and I had my own small company and I did this. I don't think you're going to get an interview. I will be honest with you. It's very rare. Now, again, in cases of entrepreneurship, that's wonderful. And if you have the skills and the means and the product and the personality and all of that to grow, absolutely do it. And I will say, you might have seen in this presentation that we offer a concentration within the MBA program in entrepreneurship. So we have entrepreneurs who have their own small businesses and want to gain the skills to grow those on a large scale. They're getting those from the MBA. And instead of looking to go work in the corporate world at, a lot of these companies I mentioned, they're not even interviewing for large companies. They're taking these skills and they're using them to grow their own businesses. Here at Michigan State and within the College of Business, we actually have the Burgess Institute for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. So we're actually working with students who want to grow their own small businesses. They want to get patents, they want to get funding, they want to do marketing, they want the grants from the government, whatever it may be. We actually support students in doing that. So, You know, some people absolutely have luck doing these things on their own. There's lots of online courses for free that people can take to learn about business. And some people do have luck that way, absolutely. But I will say that having the network is big. So having, for example, when you attend a school, and again, I'm speaking for the US, from my experience, I do not know how it is in other countries, but having a network through, especially at like a smaller MBA program such as ours, it feels like a family, right? So when these people are going out and working after their MBA, and in 5 years, they're the director of supply chain management and procurement for Ford Motor Company. They're coming back to our school and they're looking for our students, and they're open to chats with our students who are early in their careers and want to recruit people from the same program or the same school. Like, so networking is so important. And it's, yes, you can get network from not doing a program, right? Or not a university. But I will say, no matter which way that you're looking to become a business leader, whether it's self-grown, self-starting, or through a university and doing courses, networking is going to be your best friend. That is going to help you in the long run. So it might not help you immediately, but you might have made a connection that in 10 years down the road gets you a job, right? So I will say that no matter what you do, network. That's a great question, though.
So as I understand, the main ones are like network, foundation from your university. Yes?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So the next question that, as you said before, students who study STEM have more chances to stay in US for a long time. However, for example, the students who study humanitarian, what about them? How they can stay for such a long time as students who study STEM in the US?
So you said humanities,
Yes,
like
for
humanity
example.
degrees? Yeah,
Yes.
so I will say again, this is not my area of expertise because I do not work with the humanities degrees at Michigan State University, or, you know, any university for that matter. I will also note that we did not offer a STEM designated option for our students until I think 2 or 3 years ago. So even before that option existed, we brought in many, I mean, for decades, tons of international students who within a year from graduating found their jobs, got their job placement, and many of them, I mean, are still here in the US working. So it's still possible without a STEM designated degree. I don't want to scare anybody and make it sound like you're not going to be able to have a future in the US if you don't do a STEM degree, because again, this is a very new offering for us. And people were completely successful without the STEM designation before we offered it. Our class of 2021 sticks out in my mind because I remember we were so worried about them because it was just after COVID. They had to do a lot of their studies online, and many came to the US for a full-time program. It was a very probably isolating experience, I would guess, for a lot of them. And we were worried about, will companies be hiring because there's so much change happening right now. But anyways, that class had the best employment results that I have ever seen in my entire career in this position. I've been here for 7 years now. They were all employed upon graduation. 100% of our students had a full-time offer and had full-time jobs. And this is 2021 again. But at that year, there was no STEM degree. They didn't have that option, and they were all fine. So I think that a bigger indicator that you should be looking at is what's going on with the US economy. So when you're making a decision about coming to the US, and your future in the US is going to be tied with a job, and you know, if you want to stay long term, look at what's going on, especially in the sector that you're looking to work, first of all. But generally speaking, you know, the economy is very up and down. It's been a very crazy 5 years. But I will say that, you know, this year, 2025, was not good. This is the worst year I've seen actually for employment, but it's not just Michigan State. It's every MBA program. It's all over the US. Companies are doing layoffs. It's a reality, right? So these are the kind of things, like, look at this before you decide to jump into an a graduate program and look to be employed in the US. You might want to look at these trends and see what's going on and how are they hiring international students? What is the visa situation looking like? General employment trends. Look at those things because that's going to, I think, affect you way more than the type of degree you have, or is it STEM, is it non-STEM? So that's the first thing you want to check, I would say. So this year was at 80%. 80% within 6 months of graduating of our MBA students had a full-time job, which is still a great number. 80% is great. It's the majority, but it's not 100. So something to keep in mind.
So actually, that's not correct. Like connected with some issues in the United States. Like problems with Trump and with visa.
Are you asking
Yes.
if that's the reason that the statistics are down?
Yes.
I would say that political policies are part of it right now. But the job market is not being affected only for international students. It's for everybody. We're seeing the trend in employment offers go down for everybody right now. So it's not just for international students. If you look into it, there's been very large layoffs going on in a lot of different industries. So I know just a couple weeks ago, Target, I don't know if you've heard of Target. It's a huge retailer here in the United States. They laid off a very large number of their headquarters that's based in Minnesota. Tech companies, like it's been a not great year for employment for everybody. So no, it's not just international students. Certainly visa policies can change based off of whoever the president is, right? Like I said, right now, this law that I'm stating about the STEM designated opportunities, that is things as they are right now, right? I know there's also been concerns about the H-1B visa and sponsoring that. There was an executive order signed, I believe, I don't remember how long ago it was, a month, 2 months ago. I don't know, it's all getting mixed up in my mind now. But I think Trump signed it saying that companies would have to spend $100,000 to sponsor an employee. But I do not know if that has been challenged and if that's actually been signed like into law permanently. So things are very up and down. They're very, we're trying our best to keep up with it every day on our end. But yes, right now, again, the information I'm giving you about our visa situation, the STEM designation, that is the law as it is right now. And again, the employment numbers are not just international students. It's just a general economy issue right now within the US. So again, that's right now, and I really hope that within 6 months, that's not the case, right? These things are up and down, up and down, up and down. So these are trends that if you're looking to move to the US as an international student or international, not even as a student, just an immigrant coming to the US, these are things that you should look into before moving and see what's going on in different industries.
Thank you. Sorry, Aziz Suleimanov, how many time do I have?
Okay, I think we can jump to the question from our chat, if you don't mind. Kate, we have like 10 minutes, right? So what do admission committee look for in application for undergraduate students? Is it essay, CV, or SAT? What is one component in the undergraduate application?
Yeah, so I do not know much about undergraduate admissions because I work in graduate admissions. However, SAT scores are going to definitely be a part of your application, as well as your grades within your high school. I would say, I don't think we expect anybody to have work experience as an undergrad, but I do think that what we would look at are your extracurricular activities. So are you doing volunteer work? Are you part of sports teams? I don't know what in the US we have something called like the Honors Society, which is for like students who are excelling, and they also do like volunteer work in the community, for example. So I think at that level, when you're looking at high school, so your grades and your extracurriculars are going to be what admissions officers are really looking at. And of course, they'll ask you for, I'm sure, some type of written essay. I would assume, it might be something along the lines of your reasons for wanting to come to that university, especially from another country. So really doing your research on the university and what they offer, if there's a specific major that they offer, like a program that other universities don't offer, talk about that and talk about why you want to be a part of it and what your future goals are. So really getting as specific as possible as to why that university. Keep up with their current events, read their blog posts, follow them on social media, look at what their professors are doing, look at the research they're doing. So again, informing yourself as much as you can about this university so that when it's time for you to say why you want to come there, why that university, you're very well informed. And you can also ask informed questions and say, hey, I saw that this professor came out with a report or, some research on, I don't know, supply chain management in the trucking industry. I'm trying to give an example. And then you could ask specific questions to, if you're doing an interview, if that's how they do their admissions, or in an essay, and they can say, oh, wow, this person's really paying attention and really cares about what we're doing here. So I think those kind of things really stand out to admissions officers.
Thank you very much for the answer. Next question. How hard it is to get full right or partial right admission for bachelor's degree?
For bachelor's degree, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm sorry. I'm graduate degree. Again, I would assume that they look at if it's merit based. Again, these are the things that they're going to be looking at, the things that I just pointed out. So, the stronger your application, better your grades, the more money you would receive. If it's need based scholarships, because I can't speak for all universities and how they select their scholarships. So sometimes if you have a story behind why you need money and financial help, coming to that university, telling your story may be an important part of your application again. So I don't want to say I don't know because I am informed as an admissions officer, but I don't work with undergraduate admissions, A, and B, even if I did, I can't say what all of the other universities in the US are doing as far as, each one is different. So I encourage you to look into their scholarships and how they are given and why they are given. And the criteria, right, that they choose. Sometimes there's personal personal, it's like scholarships that are through like a specific donor, right? So they might be like, I want to give this money to someone from Kazakhstan who wants to study to be a nurse. So they'll be like really specific scholarships. So sometimes you'll need to go into there'll be a list of which ones you can apply for. So you can also apply for scholarships as well that are relevant to you.
All right. Here is an interesting question. I think it will be the last one. What recommendation would you give for upcoming generation to help them choose correct career path and specializations in the industry?
You said correct career path and what?
And specialization.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good question. And I really think about that myself a lot because I think my life. It's a very young age to have to choose this. I think that talking to people who, again, there's this networking piece, make connections and try your best to have as many mentors that you can in your life. Now, I know you may not feel like you're able to connect with somebody who's much older than you, but even somebody in their mid 20s, their late 20s, if there are different, even groups within your city where you are, I don't know if it's if you're generally considering business, maybe if there are some type of groups that meet up or, talk about business within your communities, join those and try to make connections with mentors and just explore what's out there, even as a career option and what they do and what they like. I never thought I would be an admissions officer ever. I didn't even know that this existed, but I love this job. I travel the world. I have probably gone to 30 or 40 different countries through this job, meeting people from all different cultures. And I never knew this was an option. I just fell into it. So I think just talking to people and making connections, and whether it's in person or online, right? There's tons of online communities. You can go, I don't know if you guys do TikTok in your part of the world, but whatever it is you use, joining these type of calls, this what you're doing now is like hearing from me and people from all over the world about these different options that are out there that you might have never even thought about. So I would say explore as much as you can, get as many different, opinions, and make as many connections. And if you can get a mentor or a couple mentors, talk with them, and just see what's out there and see what resonates with you. And I think also it's really important to know that if you start studying something, let's say in your first year of your college, right, or university, and you really don't like it, it's okay to change. Because once you get somewhere, especially even in the MBA program, it's a 2-year program. People come in and they say, I want marketing. I want to do marketing. And then they take a supply chain management class and they say, no, I want supply chain. That's what I want to do with my life. So it's always okay to evolve. It's okay to change. It's okay to explore new things. And don't think that just because you've started doing something and put some work into it, that you have to finish it if it does not feel right. Definitely follow your heart, follow your gut, and yeah, just know that evolving and changing is part of being a human, and it is okay. And you do not have to stay the same person you were when you were 17 years old and have to have that decision follow you for the rest of your life. So that is my advice to you. I know it's not a concrete path to follow and steps to follow, but that is my advice to you as an admissions officer and just an adult in general. That's what I have to share with you.
Thank you so much, Kate, for the
I probably have time for another question if you want to ask another one.
Yeah, I think we can. So I'll just look at the questions here. What is student life like at MSU?
I love that question. That's a really good one. Okay. So imagine a huge university. Again, it's 54,000 students. It is probably what you would typically imagine as a university that you would see in the movies in a US university, right? So it's kind of split into the campus area where you have old, beautiful brick buildings, a river running through campus, big trees. In the fall or the autumn, the colors are beautiful. In the winter, we have lots of snow. We have, I believe, I should know this number. I think we have 9 different colleges on campus. So again, I work at the business college, but we also have like the College of Nursing, the College of Social Sciences, the College of Arts and Letters. So there's a lot of different people that are coming together with different interests in one very large university. The undergraduate life is, I think, extra fun. I went there as an undergraduate myself. We have what you would see with football games, basketball games. We have the celebrations before the games called tailgates. So it's like everyone comes and parks their cars and makes tents all over campus and does a big party with lots of food and drinks before the game. Then we all go to the game together. The downtown, so the campus is located in a town called East Lansing, Michigan. Not a large city by any means. It's right down the road from the capital city of Michigan, which is a mid-sized city at best. But East Lansing is what we would call a college town. So the college or the university is the life of this town. And so on the opposite side of campus, there's a main road that divides campus from the downtown. It's like a strip of bars, restaurants, shops, apartments, right? So all of the students go there for all of their, hanging out and coffee shops and studying. So East Lansing is like our town. So, yeah, a very diverse population too. So not only are there different people studying different things, but there's also people from all over the world coming to study at Michigan State, both for bachelor's degree and master's degree and doctorate degrees as well. And then our faculty, our professors are from all over the world too. So you really get a very well-rounded perspective and you are opened up to a lot of different cultures and ideas being here at Michigan State. So it's a great university. We're a top research university as well. And I'm happy to call it my home. So hopefully we'll see one of you here one day in whether it's bachelor's degree or master's.
Great, thank you. So is it your time, Kate?
Yeah, I should wrap up. Unless there's like one more question, I could probably do one more, but
We have one more question here, the last one. How early can students start internships or research on campus?
yeah, so it would depend on if you're doing a bachelor's or a master's. If you're doing a master's, for example, you can immediately start doing research as like a research assistant while you're studying. I'm sorry, they said research and what was the other thing?
Internships.
Internships too. So for bachelor's students, I would say most people start doing internships. So our bachelor's degrees are 4 years here in the US. So I think a lot of people start their internships typically after their second year. So they'll usually do them in the summertime. And then more commonly, so like after the second year is probably the earliest people start. And then after their third year in the summer, before their last year would be probably the biggest year to do it. And then during your last year is when you're, looking for a full-time job, right? To start after your studies. So yeah, you can do internships and you could do them during your first year too. If you're able to find them and get them, then yeah. So internships and the research can happen during your studies. I'd say the research, I believe, is usually more during your master's degree. But there could be opportunities in your undergraduate too. And then internships can happen anytime during your studies, anytime. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for answering that. I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was the second session of our new project, the Educational Bridge, and we hope that conversation was useful, informative, and helped you better understand the opportunities at Michigan State University. Big thank you, Kate, for sharing your experience and giving so much practical information. And thank you to Jaina Gul for the co-host for joining for us here on the screen. Thank you. And of course, thank you to everyone who was watching, commenting, and sending in the questions. This is only the beginning. We'll have more live sessions, interviews, and conversations with universities from all around the world coming very soon. Stay with us, follow the updates, and we'll see you at the next session. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.